Hey everyone, so for today, just so you all know, you can either have, I suggested yesterday on our class that you have watercolors if you have access to them. If you don't have access to watercolors, you are still welcome to use colored pencils. I'm going to try to go through both, I'm sorry, oh my gosh, what am I trying to say? Both processes for you. That way you kind of know what you're doing. But we're going to create a silhouette today, a sunset silhouette specifically. So we're going to all create these really nice backgrounds with different colors from a sunset. And a silhouette is just, it's going to be everything that's in the foreground. So if you're looking at a silhouette, it's typically black. You can't see any details on it. So I'll show you all how to go through that process too. They turn out really, really beautiful, really colorful. It really brings out, having the silhouette in the foreground really brings out the colorful background. So I hope you all enjoy experimenting with that. I'm gonna go through how to lay out your watercolors first, for those of you that have watercolors, just because it's a little bit more time consuming. And then after that, I'm gonna go through just blending the colored pencils a little bit again. So let's see. Tater Tot, I'm continuing the Scott Army. I don't know if you all noticed. Still says Scott. I didn't know it kept it that way, so I learned that today. Scott wasn't sure if I was the teacher when I was waiting for Zoom. So here I am. Let's see. Let me just check. I haven't seen anyone come into the waiting room, so I'll probably just go ahead and get started.
I actually disabled the waiting room so people could just come right in.
Oh, sweet. I didn't know you could do that.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
If
Okay.
there's a problem, I'll have to re-enable it, but it's disabled for right now.
Awesome. Okay, sweet. So just out of curiosity, how many of you do have watercolors? You can just type it in the chat, or if your video is showing, you can just raise your hand. I'm just scrolling through. Okay. Okay, cool. Me, but I'm too lazy to get them. That's okay. That's totally fine. Okay, so a few of you do, and then I'm assuming most of you have colored pencils, the rest of you. Teresa has watercolors, great. Okay. Okay, cool. So let's see. Before we actually start, I'm not sure if it's appropriate to talk about this or not, but I'm just going to because I feel in my heart I should. But there's a lot of things going on in the world right now, and I'm very, very grateful to be doing this class with all of you because I think art is a really great way to express yourself. It's also a great tool to use to create more peace of mind, get in an area where you feel a little bit more calm. I know that some people are feeling different things with everything going on, and I was just telling Scott that I'm really excited that we have an art class and that we have this that all of you can use, and it's free, and yeah. So I hope all of you are staying safe too, and like I said, just glad you're all here. So with that, I'm done rambling. So
You bring happiness to the whole class.
What?
I said you bring the happiness to the whole class. We all appreciate it.
Thanks, Scott. Yeah, and if you want to share, you can in the chat by all means. It's an open forum. It's an art class. I think the whole purpose of art is having the ability and feeling safe to have that option to share how you feel. And yeah, really though, seriously, it means a lot that you're all here. So we're going to start with expressing our watercolors. All right. So I just have a regular standard set of watercolors here. This is what it looks like. It's pretty messy. Just a little, doesn't have to be anything super fancy. But for those of you that may have not used watercolors before, I typically get my paintbrush wet. There's different methods that you can use when you're using watercolors. Some people will get their paper wet first and then apply the watercolor on top of that. Other people, some artists will take their paintbrush, get that wet, get the watercolor wet, and then put it on the paper. So I'm going to start with getting my paintbrush full of water and choosing colors. So if you are in the chat, if anyone wants to share, there's so many different colors you can use to depict a sunset. If you want to share in the chat what some of those colors are, just to put some inspiration for some of our other artists, that would be awesome. I really love purples and pinks. There's some sunsets, like on the example on the website, that are just orange, which is also beautiful too. You get to choose what colors you use today. There's no right colors. So if you really like the blues and the purples like me, you can use those. If you really like the yellows, the reds, and the oranges, by all means. Or if you want to use both, hey, it's really cool. Okay. So now the more water that you have, the lighter your color is going to show up. So if you're using watercolors, you're going to fill up your whole sheet of paper with different colors before you do your silhouettes. So you're not drawing anything yet. You're just filling up that sheet of paper with the colors you want to use. If you're going to be using colored pencils, what I would do first is create a layout with your graphite pencil or your drawing pencil first, and you'll draw a landscape. Now, we're sticking with the theme of desert just because we did a drawing of the Roadrunner yesterday. But if you want to do, you know, the forest for your silhouette, you can do that. But go ahead and draw your little landscape setting that you like if you're using colored pencils. If you're using watercolors right now, you are filling up your entire background with one, well, not one color actually, with all the colors that you want in your sunset. I don't know what I want to use next.
I think Lizzie wanted to share her colors.
Lizzie, yeah, go ahead. Oh my gosh, look at that huge pack. That's amazing. That's amazing. Love that. And it's so cool that you have access to all those colors also. And again, there's no right colors to use.
What are we doing again?
Is that Soren? So Soren, we are creating a landscape, a desert landscape. If you're using colored pencils or markers, right now you're using your pencil to draw your landscape. If you're using watercolors, you're filling up your entire background with different colors that you would find in a sunset. And then I apologize, everyone. I'm rushing through this just so I have time to show the blending of the colored pencils as well. So I'm not super concerned with filling my entire page, and that's okay.
Did you hear about the Scott oh no, the Scott army that we had yesterday?
What do you?
Naming themselves Scott.
Yeah, that was in our class.
I forgot. Oops.
That's okay. Okay. So one thing I will mention too, if you're using watercolors, just be very careful with the amount of water that you're using as well. If you're using a regular sheet of paper, the only downside to that is that if you use too much water, it starts to deteriorate a little bit. So you get your paper starts to get these little crumbles of paper, and you can eventually rip holes into it. So just be very gentle. If you have really nice watercolor paper, awesome. You won't have that same that same challenge happen. Okay, so now that you've filled up your background with these beautiful colors, you are going to go in. I just used a really large paintbrush to fill in my background. That way I was able to take a little bit more space in a faster amount of time. But now what you want to do is take a smaller, more, oh my goodness, where is my head at today? I forgot my small paintbrush. Luckily, everything's in my general vicinity, so I now have my smaller paintbrush. So now what you're gonna do to create a silhouette, you're just using your black watercolor paint at this time. And you're gonna go in with your smaller brush and start to create that silhouette. So you can draw a nice line to dictate where your foreground is, where the ground is. And then, since we're doing a desert landscape, you can choose what types of plants you want to draw. If you want to draw animals, please do. And like I said, if you don't want to do a desert landscape, maybe you want to do mountains, maybe some redwood trees, you can do that too. So then right on top, you're just filling in your foreground with these nice silhouettes. Just like that. And really fill in this whole area. So think about different things that you can include. If you just want to do plants, nature, what types of plants do you find in the desert? Joshua trees. Love Joshua trees. Those are so interesting. You have cacti, different types of succulents, different types of flowers that live with a lack of water.
Cat's hand is up.
Hey, Cat.
So my dog made a big mess, so I kind of missed what we're doing from the beginning. What are we doing? Sorry.
Exactly what you see on the camera. So if you have watercolors, you are just doing what I did. You were creating a sunset silhouette landscape. So if you're using watercolors, Kat, you're going to fill in your whole background with beautiful colors from a sunset. They can be purples and blues if you like those. If you prefer reds and oranges in your sunset, you can include that as well. And then once you get that laid out on your background, then you start putting in your silhouette. We kept on the theme of desert. I keep saying desert because we drew the Roadrunner yesterday. But if you want to do a different type of landscape, you are welcome to. If you have colored pencils, that's what I'm going to go into real quick. What you hopefully have started to do already is draw your landscape with a regular pencil. And then you're just going to fill in your background and your foreground. So you'll use a black colored pencil for whatever you decided to draw in your foreground. So if you're drawing beautiful succulents, you don't need to do anything super detailed because again, silhouettes are all black. So you're just going to fill it in with your black colored pencil. So you don't have to stress too much about making sure that you have tons of details where you're going to fill it in.
Tater Tot had a cool idea. What about a dessert desert? So like a landscape made out of sweet treats.
Oh, that's amazing. That's a great idea. What types of desserts? What types of desserts? We have ice cream. You could draw a big ice cream cone. You can draw a chocolate chip. I love chocolate chip cookies. Oh my gosh, everyone. I am a sucker for chocolate chip cookies. Draw a bunch of chocolate chip cookies.
Green licorice cactus.
Ooh, yeah. Green licorice. I wonder what flavor that would be.
Laura has her hand up.
Hey, Laura.
I want to know if I can share my background.
Of course.
I'm going to put a second coat on it too.
That's beautiful. Oh, I love those colors. I like that you
Thank you.
did both.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. If you also want to draw, you know, a little outside of the sun, outside, a little outline of the sun, a little outside of the sun. This is all up to your interpretation. Whatever you want to do. Okay, so now I use blues and purples for the watercolor, so I think I want to incorporate a little bit more reds and oranges in here. So I just want to remind you too, if you're going in and starting to fill in with your colored pencil, if all of you, some of you I know were in the class where we talked about colored pencils, so I just want to run through that again. If you were to blend colors together, I'm just gonna show you, I'm using red. And you don't have to do this with me, I'm just gonna run through it really quickly for you. But I'm using red and I'm going about halfway through this little box that I drew. And then I'm gonna take, let's see, I'm gonna use orange. And I'm gonna start right on top of this red as well. Fill in this whole area and blend it in with the red that's there. So there's a nice mixture. That way you don't have colors that just look, just doing this really quickly, that just look like this. There's not really a whole lot of blend. If you want it to blend a little bit more, you can utilize this technique. And obviously the more that you overlap what you have, the more it's gonna, the darker it's gonna show up on your paper too. So you can do some layering.
Lizzie's hand is up.
Oh, that looks beautiful. Oh, I love that. So now that you've filled up your background, if you want to do another layer, you can, or you can just start going in with the silhouette. I love those colors. That looks beautiful. Okay, and then if you wanted to add that next color, maybe yellow, you would just do the same thing with the orange and the yellow as well. Start off nice and light. Because then you, like I said, the more you overlap, the darker it's going to come out anyway. Actually, I want to change this up a little bit.
There's a question, are we watercoloring the cacti and all that? I mean, what are we supposed to be using?
If you're using watercolor, yeah. Yeah, so you would use your, like in my example I showed, I was using black watercolor. And right now I'm just going through with colored pencil because I know not everyone has access to watercolors at home. And then in your colored pencil drawing, it would be the same thing. So you'd fill in these plants with your black colored pencil. So it's just a nice silhouette. Oh, I don't know if all of you know this. I know Ben's been talking about it in his classes, but we did get the art supply lists up on the website. So I'm pretty sure Ben added mine and Lee's on there as well, and Mike's too. I know he had a couple suggestions, even though there's not a lot that you're using in Mike's class if you're in his class. But those are up. I know we suggested many different items. So you can look, there's an art supply company called Blick. Usually has pretty good pricing on art supplies. We also made Amazon lists as well. So take advantage of that. I think it's important. It's really important, especially if you want to keep using art and exploring art and you want to study it more. The further you are in school, it's important to know what types of tools are out there that are quality tools. It's very different when you're using a drawing pencil compared to just a regular number 2 pencil. You can still use a number 2 pencil, especially if you don't have access to nice drawing pencils, but it does really make a big difference.
Teresa is asking if you could show us your watercolor again.
Yeah, there's no brand on it, but this is the picture. Picture of the set.
Yes, I believe so. I think the picture.
The picture. Okay. There it is. And the set doesn't have a brand on it. I believe these are just from Blick as well. These are actually from, I'm using a set that we have from the Chuck Jones Center, but we usually order from Blick.
Can you move it over just a little bit? It's kind of cut off. There we go, to see the cactus.
My lone cactus.
Thank you.
I just want you all to know I was really excited to be able to say cacti with all of you.
Soren is raising his hand.
Soren, how's it going?
I'm going to share mine.
Let's see it. Oh, very cool. What type of landscape did you do? I see some nice trees in there.
1 minute, I gotta get a napkin. I'll be right back.
No worries.
So I'm ready.
Nice, I love it.
So I told my mom and dad that if one of my projects is with watercolor, all the projects I do with watercolor, I'm gonna cover the whole paper with color.
That's good.
So this basically is the sunset, and this yellow thing you see here is the sun. And then if you see like a green thing on it down here, it's like a bush like covering it, and this is a sunset in a forest. And
I love
you
it.
never want to see this forest. It's enchanted by ghosts.
Ooh, haunting.
Yeah, it's haunted. Nobody sees the ghosts. It's enchanted by ghosts. Anybody who gets into it gets cursed by the ghost curse, which basically makes you die.
Oh gosh, it's dark. That's dark, Soren.
I know.
I do like your.
like a normal forest. Everybody just walks in. But the animals don't die because they're basically friends with the ghosts. So yeah.
Well, that's good. Your sunset looks awesome. I like that you did the sun as well. It looks good.
Rhiannon, Megan was asking, what was your favorite class to do?
My favorite class in school, like art class? Is that what you're asking? One of these classes, my favorite class. Oh my gosh. I don't even know. Well, as far as the Zoom classes go with all of you, they all blend together now. I've enjoyed, this seems like I'm not answering the question, but I've really enjoyed all of them. And I'm not just saying that because everything that you all have produced has been really fun to watch. And then also just see you all chatting in the chat is really fun for me. Scott and I were talking about how all of you are, doing the Scott Army and drawing lots of scoots all over the place. And it's fun to see everybody come together and, and for most of our classes, everybody treats each other well. And everyone has input and I see compliments for other people's work go into the chat. And it's just really nice. It's really nice to have that and see that. As far as projects go, I really have enjoyed doing the colored pencil stuff with all of you. I really liked watching when Lee did the observations, though, from home that whole week. That was really fun to see what everyone had at home to draw. I liked those. If you're interested, my favorite classes in art school were actually the 3D classes. Now, I love drawing and working with charcoal the most. But when I took ceramics and when I actually do metalsmithing work. So at home I have a nice little setup here with metals and my gas tank and all those materials. That I think my view was changed a lot when I started doing the 3D classes, because there's just something about the act of getting your hands dirty and manipulating things with your hands, and it's just so different. Those are my favorite classes. So if you are considering taking art, expand your horizons a little bit. If you really love drawing and animation and you want to stick with those, you should, but I also believe that you should experiment with other mediums as well. Especially because you learn different techniques and you learn how to, even just the intro courses, you learn how to do so much, and then you can utilize that in other areas of your life too. Like my first metalsmithing class I took, it totally changed my life. That was so much fun. And I continue to do it at home. I actually just made my doggy a new name tag out of copper.
Gonna jump over to Tater Tot.
Tater Tot. Hey, friend. Oh, I love it. I like the clouds in the background too.
Thank you.
Are you gonna start adding some color to it?
Probably not.
I like the grayscale. It looks good.
Thank you.
I saw Scott, did you see the schedule, the comments about the scheduling?
I did. Lee and I actually talked about that yesterday. There was just a mistake when it was uploaded, and
Oh,
I think
perfect.
she's gonna take care of it with the webmaster.
Perfect. Okay. So hopefully that helps you all out that we're typing about it in the chat. Thank you for saying something though, because then now she can adjust it. The scratch art was so cool. Did everyone, or who in this class was a part of that? How to make your own scratch art at home? That was brilliant.
Oh, here's one right here.
That's so cool. That scratch art's so fun. Thanks for sharing yours.
Here's another.
Ooh, that looks really cool. Those are so cool. So for those of you that were in the class, they took a piece of paper and she was using pastels because pastels tend to work a little bit better with that. But if you don't have pastels, they also used crayons, and you just filled in your background with rainbow colors and then overlapped that with black right on top and then scratched out the black to reveal the watercolor, to reveal the rainbow colors underneath. Just with crayons. It's pretty neat.
Here's Lizzie.
Oh, that looks so good. I love that you incorporated the birds in the sky. That background looks amazing. That looks really good. Thanks for sharing that, Lizzie.
Here's Liliana and Heather Rose.
Hey, ladies.
Okay, I'm close down.
Oh, that looks awesome.
This way. Move toward the
What types of animals did you do?
No, back, out. No, no, no.
Gosh,
Oh
I'm sorry.
You're okay, ladies. Don't worry.
I did a Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote scene.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. That's so cool.
Let's see if I can set this back up. All right, hang on. I'll show mine in a sec. Let me just pick up the computer.
Oh, beautiful. I like how you did the color in your background too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Really nice.
Wait.
So if you're using the colored pencils, the more you overlap, the darker the color is going to look on your sheet of paper. So Just remember, if it looks pretty light, you can always keep going over it. Mine is bringing out my drawing from yesterday a little bit. You can't really tell on the camera, but I'm starting to see an outline of the Roadrunner. It's like a hidden image in the image. Oh, sorry about that noise. All right, now the other thing I was going to do for everybody too, I know some of you are younger, so maybe not all of you have an Instagram, but I'm going to put my Instagram in the chat box. So if you'd like to follow, you are welcome to. And I'm also going to put my email in there too, because I know most of you know our class, we're decreasing the amount of classes we're having per week starting next week. It's so sad. All of us teaching artists have a lot coming up with summer camps and things. So we'll definitely still be teaching a class per day, so you have access still. But the new schedule will be posted this weekend. And then we'll be sending out an email with the new schedule on Sunday. So let me put that in here really quick. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Don't hesitate. I'm around. It's summertime. It's really hot out, so I'll be enjoying some outside time too.
I'd just like to add, that's not my Instagram, even though it says my name.
What?
Under yours, it still says Scott.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Here, let's
It's
see.
okay. I was just teasing.
This is what I'm gonna do. Rhiannon. Bam. There you go. That's easier to navigate. I forgot I was still in the Scott Army.
Thank you. Now I can tell us apart.
No, because on my end it just says me to everyone, so I don't even see. Yeah, I post student work and my own work on there, so I've actually this year have been utilizing it a lot more because I was neglecting it for a long time. And I'm sorry, folks, I don't have a TikTok. I know that's really big right now. I don't do those fancy videos.
Here's Soren.
Hey, Soren.
Get ready to see my new picture. This is the exact picture I drew. I just added on. So the trees have colorful leaves and there's sunset and it's snowing, but it's warm and cool, and we're hot and cold, so it's the perfect weather. And it's just so fun now.
I love it.
I didn't want to draw another one. I didn't feel like it. I just felt like leaving the meeting because I was like kind of already through one, but then I kind of want to draw another one, and then I was like, it'll take too long, and I don't know what to draw, so I just added on.
Awesome. I'm glad you stayed and added on. You can always do some with just a drawing.
Yeah,
too.
but I kind of had to use the napkin a lot.
Oh, hey, that's okay.
And if you see the colors are kind of like matte colors, but a little different, and they're like smothered everywhere. It's because I like with the napkin, I just like wiped the wet parts and just like smothered it everywhere and moved the color. So I had a chance to.
Thanks for sharing, Soren.
You're welcome.
Seriously, always love your imagination too. I apologize ahead of time if you hear my dog start barking because there is something, all the dogs outside are talking to each other, so I'm not sure what's going on right now. You know how dogs are.
Gonna jump over to one of the Scots.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi. I kind of did a lot of layers, but here's
Oh, I love it.
thanks.
I
It was
like
kind of
this.
wet, so I had to go over it so it wouldn't feather so much.
Yeah, yeah. Looks so good.
Thank you.
The colors you're all doing for your sunsets are beautiful.
Don't do this, Sheila. It's not going to solve anything. How? In what way?
So I'm just continuing to keep adding color and more color and more color. Do any of you go camping or anything? If you do you prefer to go camping in the desert or in the forest? Just curious. I personally, my husband and I go camping at least once a year. And I personally love the forest. The trees are beautiful. I love, I love the forest. He loves the desert. So we also make a point to go to Joshua Tree. We went to Death Valley. But he is a big fan of desert landscapes.
So I actually live in the desert.
Do you?
Yeah.
Where are you at again?
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So do you prefer the desert?
Actually, I prefer more humid areas.
Okay.
So we live in New Mexico, and I was born in New Mexico, but in my mind, I always say that I'm from North Carolina because we're always there because that's where all our family lives, and I'm more comfortable in the North Carolina climate.
Interesting.
Emily and Sophia have their hand up.
Hey, ladies.
So here is my watercolor painting.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so you used reds and oranges and yellows.
And I also want to show my scratch art.
Oh, that looks so cool. Oh, I love that.
This is my watercolor art so far.
That looks so good. I love it. Are you going to make the sun yellow?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good idea. I like that. Nice, ladies. Thanks for sharing. To answer Scott's question, We are going to be doing free classes all summer so far. The only times we won't be providing them are the times that we are doing our summer camps. Yesterday we put the link up. The first camp is more of an animation camp, but it's in there as animation and cartooning. That is the last week of June. So that starts June 22nd. So that will be that whole week we won't have the free classes, unfortunately, just because we'll be busy with that. But if you were joining, Scott, I believe, are you going to be in that with Naleen?
I believe so.
So you'll still see Scoot. And then our next summer camp is in July, and then we have one more in August. So just for those specific weeks, we won't have them. Oh, sorry, my wires in the video. But the camp in July is going to be painting. That'll be fun. It's actually the week of my birthday, too. Fun fact. Another fun fact, because I know you all care so much, my dog's birthday is this month, June 30th. She'll be 3. Still haven't decided what we're going to do with her yet, but Scott, your birthday's in June too. What day? June 18th. Lizzie, what day is your birthday in July? The 28th. Oh, mine's the 16th. So
My dad's birthday's in a week, and my birthday's on Thanksgiving this year.
Really? So you get to eat delicious food on your birthday? Unless you don't like Thanksgiving food. I'm not sure. I just assume that you did. Usually I assume. Say that again?
I was just going to comment. I have a very festive birthday.
You do?
It's December 31st.
Oh. Oh man, so everybody goes all out for Scott's birthday.
Everyone celebrates. The whole world celebrates during my birthday.
My aunt's birthday's either on the 31st or the 30th. I always forget.
So everyone probably celebrates hers too.
And then I have a sister whose birthday is on the 29th of December.
Oh, lots of December family members. I know we have a bunch of people in my family that were born in March and April. A ton of people in our family. Actually, there's quite a few of us in July too. I think that myself, my youngest brother, he was born in July too. My stepsister, also born in July. Quite a bit in July. How's everybody doing with their artwork? Tater Tot singing. Do you remember the 21st night of September? So glad that we're recording me singing right now. That's such a good song, Tater Tot.
That'll be the next sound clip.
Yes. Oh, yes, definitely. So good.
Cat's hand is up.
So I wanted to share. I'm still trying to work on the background a little bit, but
Oh, very nice. I like that you did yours vertical too. That looks really good.
and I have a multitude of flies suddenly appearing out of nowhere.
Oh my gosh. So annoying. Sorry, everybody. I see there's a little bit of lag again on my video.
I think it looks okay.
Okay. Oh, Wi-Fi. We rely on it so much and it betrays us all.
Yesterday, I was actually dropped out of Lee's class during the class because the connection just dropped.
Oh no.
But luckily, I have the multiple devices for producing and recording, so it wasn't noticeable.
Oh my gosh. For those of you that don't know, Scott has Megadesk set up all the time. If you watch The Office, you know what I'm talking about.
So fun fact, you always see amazing sunsets in the desert and not as much in other places in pictures.
That's so true.
Well, it's actually real. Like, we get so many good sunsets. Like, every night you'll see an amazing sunset. And the coolest ones are when the clouds turn like pink and purple and orange.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had many nights camping with some beautiful sunsets in the desert. And not only do you get beautiful sunsets, but if you're in an area where there's not a big city, you see tons of beautiful stars afterwards too. All right, so we have a few more minutes. If anyone else wants to share, I'd love to see more artwork. Oh, in Hawaii, the sunsets are gorgeous. Yeah.
Here's Caden.
Kaden. Oh, look at that beautiful sunset.
It's not that wet because I didn't do. I just dabbed it in water and washed the water off, then painted it. So it's not that wet. This
That
part
looks so
was
good.
wet, but it dried.
That looks so good, Kaden. Great job.
Thank you.
That looks awesome.
Here's Vienna and Victoria.
Hi, ladies.
Show them your work in progress.
Oh, I'm working on the tree leaves.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful.
Oops, sorry.
Thank you.
I love the colors you chose for your sunset.
Okay. We actually copied it off.
I'm not done. Hey,
Oh, that looks so good too.
it's a sunset of a city.
These castles.
I love the castles. That's such a good idea.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Liliana and Heather Rose.
Oh, that looks good.
Sorry, they're still muted. There we go.
This is my second one because my first one was all blues and pinks. So this time I did reds.
Ooh, I like that. Beautiful.
The
Looks
black
so
kind
good.
of bled into the sun, unfortunately.
Oh, that's okay. You can always go back over it too when it dries out a little bit.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you
Thanks.
for doing these classes. They're fun.
Good. I'm glad you like them. Bye, Tater Tot. All right. Anybody else want to share? Got just a couple minutes. Okay, well, just so you all know, I'm sure you saw on the website, there's only one class tomorrow at 10 o'clock with Lee. And then, like I said, this weekend we'll have the classes next week posted for all of you. And, oh, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, I thought today was Thursday. It's so weird. Thank you for correcting me. Just one on Friday. There's 2 tomorrow. Correction, 2 tomorrow. Okay? Don't listen to me. Friday, listen to Scott in the chat.
Well, not me, the other Scott.
The other Scott.
I was confused too. I was ready to go to the website, be like, what?
So sorry. Friday, there's only one class. So 2 tomorrow, Thursday, 1, 10 a.m. Friday. Yeah, normal. Ben and Lee tomorrow. Should I say Lee and then Ben tomorrow, and then Lee on Friday. And then this weekend, we'll have the new classes posted up with our new schedule, so all of you will have access to that. I know everyone's finishing up school, so good luck. I hope this is the last hurrah. If not, next week is, so don't work too hard. Don't worry, you're almost done. So yeah, that's it. Thanks everybody for joining us. Your sunsets are
It looks
beautiful.
like, sorry to interrupt. It looks like Laura wants to share.
Laura.
So I'm still waiting for it to dry, but I'm going to do, after it finishes drying, I'm going to do the black outline. It's going to be a sun there, but so I was going to say I'm always in school, but I'm never in school because I'm homeschooled.
Oh.
So.
Oh man. Are we going to see did you want to show the background?
Sure.
Oh, very nice. Okay, so now you're going to add the black silhouette right after that. Nice.
Yeah.
I love the colors.
Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, and then I see Sophia and Emily too before we head out.
Okay.
This is mine so far.
Oh, nice. It's coming together.
Yeah, I just need to pick the yellow and black. And I finished mine.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, sunsets are so fun. Very nice. Thank you, ladies. Awesome.
Judy was asking about private classes.
What was that?
Judy was asking about private classes. If you ever have your own private classes.
Will I ever have my own private classes? We are actually working on that. We do private lessons, or I do, since you're asking that, for Chuck Jones. We just stopped. I was meeting with someone. Today was their last class just because it's summertime. So that just ended until they're back in school. It's usually, I know for that specific student, we were doing it during the school year. And then, but she's also homeschooled, so I think she gets some credit for that. But we do have private lessons that we offer. So if you wanted to have a private lesson with myself, you just need to go through the Chuck Jones Center website itself and reach out to Cindy She is our program coordinator. But yes, we do. And we usually, I also put my email in the chat. Let me see if I can find it amongst all of these. I'll just do it again. Oh, I got it. Let me just copy and paste this real quick. So you are always welcome to email me. Like I said, there's my Instagram, but Cindy's who coordinates all the programs. And I do a ton of different things. We could do painting, drawing. We usually go through the elements of art. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. But yeah, thanks for asking too.
I'm pasting the contact link
Perfect.
into the chat.
Perfect. Yeah, so that's up there. And then Megan, you should get an Instagram. Oh, so sad. Well, eventually, hopefully you will. All right, everybody. Well, have a great rest of your day. Thanks for being here again. Stay safe. Make some more art. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, Rhiannon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.